The reverse hyperextension, what is it? We all know the regular hyperextension, which means just simply moving your upper body down and up, contracting the lower back. So it's really a lower back exercise. Some people try to use it as a hamstring stretch exercise, but in my opinion, there simply are better movements to achieve the same goal, like a stiff leg deadlift or even a Romanian deadlift for that matter. But when we're looking at the reverse hyperextension, it's going to be very, very different from the regular hyperextension because of one thing: you don't target the lower back specifically, you target the glutes, a really overlooked muscle in bodybuilding. And for me, since I'm preparing for the Mr. Olympia and looking at my personal weak points, and a lot of other people have the same weak point, it's the glutes. You can squat all you want, you can dumbbell lunge all you want. If you don't isolate those glutes, if they are not a strong point by now, they won't become a strong point or even a medium point if you keep doing those same exercises. So you have to isolate those glutes, and in my opinion, since I've tried the reverse hyperextension, it simply feels amazing compared to any other glute isolation movement. So this machine right here is the ATX reverse hyperextension. I've looked at a very extensive search to find a good brand that provides a good reverse hyperextension. It was difficult to find, but because you already have ATX in this gym and it's a really sturdy, hardcore bodybuilding, lifting, powerlifting brand, I was like, why not give it a shot? And here it is, the reverse hyperextension. So basically, I'm on it right now. All I have to do is grab these handles, which you cannot see yet, and then behind me, my legs will go up, contracting those glutes, isolating them in a very incredible way. Let me show you. So here you can see what the exercise is all about, and it's exactly what I was talking about before. This time it's not the upper body moving up and down, but it's the legs. And that's how you isolate those glutes, because the glutes are actually lifting up the legs, and that is a very efficient and effective way to make those glutes work really hard. So what you saw right there was the reverse hyperextension movement from one angle. You can actually see that you would normally expect the body to be straight, but for the glutes to maximally contract, you need to go actually a little higher. Just like when you see Tom Platz doing the leg extension, he doesn't just go straight up to 90 degrees, he actually goes higher than that, which is quite awesome. At least it will be 180 degrees, by the way. But anyway, so you just saw it from this angle, and let me show you another angle right now. So from this angle you can see a bit better what the glutes are doing. It's not every day that you look at another man's glutes and actually try to learn something from it, but when you see that I'm going all the way up, the glutes are contracting, and that causes the maximum shortage of that muscle for the maximum amount of contraction in those muscles, which actually causes muscle growth. So you guys might think, well, why should I do a reverse hyperextension when I can do a hip thrust or something else to isolate those glutes? Personally, so in my situation, I cannot do hip thrusts because you take a barbell, even if you soften it up, if it puts pressure on my hips, there are some nerves right there that if I press it upwards, it's going to shock a pain down my left leg. It's been like that for years, and I actually know more people who have the same problem. So I can't concentrate on doing the weight. I can't have a mind-muscle connection there. I simply haven't been able to do that, which is cause for why it's a weaker muscle group. So this exercise, it enables you to use a very light weight. Your own legs, you already have to lift those, and they are not the lightest body part on your body. So that's already a challenge, but you get better quite quickly. When I started this movement, the legs just by themselves were quite difficult to lift up. Now I can already put plates on there, and let me actually show you how that works, because you can increase the weight here. But before I do that, the biggest difference between a movement like this and hip thrust is the amount of weight you need to use. You can truly feel this is an isolation movement because you can't do a lot of weight. that is the big difference. Just like when doing a barbell row compared to a bicep curl, use the biceps in both movements, but the bicep curl is the isolation one, not allowing you to use a lot of weight. So when you do a hip thrust, I see people doing up towards 200 kilograms. That's like 440 pounds, 90 pounds, 440 pounds. But that's just an incredible amount of weight to put on, and it's just a hassle. Having a machine like this is very convenient, and ever since I saw John Meadows do this exercise on his channel, I think a couple of years ago by now, I've been looking for it everywhere, and now with ATX I finally found a very good one. So let me show you what it looks like with the weights on. So here you can see me having attached the weights. It's just 5 kilogram plates. All I did is move this clip out of the way, put the weight on, put the clip back, and the belt is still right here attached. So it still gives you, if you put it like this, more than enough space to put your legs in without touching the weight. And you can see how much space there is left. Just imagine this being a 45 pound or 20 kilo plate. You can put like at least 4 of them next to each other, and trust me, no glute on the planet is strong enough to lift that in isolation, except maybe Ronnie Coleman's. Alright, this one is already going to be quite challenging. Keep in mind, I trained legs yesterday and I can feel it in my glutes because I did this very exercise, so it's not going to be feeling great. But at the same time, it does. So as I mentioned, there's only 2 5 kilogram plates on here, but this means, since it's already feeling quite challenging to fully go through the range of motion, that you can actually challenge yourself for many years to come in terms of progressive overload on this machine, since it's that challenging, isolating those glutes this way. Obviously I had to end this video in this downlighting. From the Olympia, I'm about 8 weeks out, and this whole exercise of the week section is to show you guys the exercises that I choose to fix my personal weak points or to even improve upon my strong points. So every single week you can expect an exercise video like this on top of the exercise tutorial videos that are also coming to the Vintage Genetics channel. So the reverse hyperextension, great one for isolating the glutes. You don't feel it in the lower back, you don't feel it in the hamstrings, just the glutes. So if you're a serious lifter, bodybuilder, physique athlete, and you want to complete your physique and the glutes are a weak point, I would strongly recommend investing in a machine like the ATX reverse hyperextension. I want to thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay golden.